Let's get right into it. Number 7. Penicillin Oops. Imagine you're a scientist. Your job is literally to keep things clean, controlled, and sterile. And then one day you look at a petri dish and realize you absolutely failed at all three. Mold, just vibing, growing where it absolutely should not be. Most people would throw it away immediately and pretend it never happened, like a bad haircut. But Alexander Fleming looked at that moldy disaster and thought, that's interesting. Here's the weird part. The bacteria around the mold were dead, like fully defeated. The mold was basically standing there like a tiny green bouncer saying, "You're not allowed in." That mold was penicillin, and it accidentally became the reason you don't die from paper cuts anymore. Your brain loves to imagine scientific breakthroughs as lightning bolts of genius, whiteboards, equations, intense staring into the distance. But this one happened because someone forgot to clean up properly. Penicillin exists because of mess, because of procrastination, because of leaving things overnight and hoping they fix themselves, which, honestly, is very relatable. Before antibiotics, a small infection could turn into a dramatic medical soap opera. Stub your toe? Tragic. Scratch your arm? Start writing your will. It's like hiring a hitman who only targets the bad guys and then politely leaves. The wildest part is that Fleming didn't even fully realize how big this was at first. Basically, humanity survived because someone didn't do the dishes. Number 6. Microwave panic box. You're reheating leftovers at 2 a.m., staring into a glowing box that hums like it's plotting something, and you trust it completely. That's bold, considering the microwave was invented by accident while someone was working with radar equipment that could absolutely ruin your day. Percy Spencer was testing magnetrons, devices that send out high-frequency waves, when he noticed something odd. The chocolate bar in his pocket melted, which is either a scientific breakthrough or the worst day to wear snacks. Instead of panicking, he leaned in. He tested popcorn. It exploded. Eggs followed. Also exploded. This man was basically discovering the microwave by detonating food. Microwaves work by exciting water molecules, which is science's way of saying, your food is being aggressively shaken from the inside. The molecules heat up, the food warms, and somehow the plate stays cold just to mess with you. It's not magic, but it feels personal. Before microwaves, reheating food meant time, patience, and emotional commitment. Ovens, pans, waiting. Now, 30 seconds and you're eating questionable pizza with confidence. The microwave didn't just change cooking, it changed human expectations. You are no longer willing to wait for heat. Your brain goes, "Why isn't this hot yet?" after 8 seconds. All because a guy noticed a melted chocolate bar and didn't immediately file a complaint with his laundry detergent. Your midnight hunger salutes him. Number 5. Sticky notes chaos. Some inventions are born from success, others are born from failure that refuses to accept its place in history. Sticky notes belong to the second category. They exist because someone tried and failed to make strong glue. A scientist at 3M invented an adhesive that was bad. It didn't stick well. It didn't hold things together. It was the glue equivalent of a weak handshake. In most workplaces, that's the end of the story. But years later, another employee had a problem. Bookmarks kept falling out of his church hymnal, and suddenly, weak glue became perfect glue. Sticky notes are designed to stick just enough to be helpful, and just little enough to be annoying. They cling, they release, they leave behind no evidence. They are commitment issues in square form. Your brain loves them because they don't demand permanence. You can write something down without emotionally committing to remembering it forever. That's the psychology part. Sticky notes reduce mental load. They become external memory. Tiny paper brains you scatter everywhere so your real brain can relax a little until you forget what the note was for, or it falls off, or you ignore it for 3 weeks while making eye contact with it daily. The modern office runs on these things. Computers, desks, walls, monitors, fridges, all covered in pastel reminders screaming, "You promised you'd do this." And they exist because someone made glue that sucked. Weakness accidentally became productivity. Basically, your entire organizational system is built on failure with confidence. Number 4. Accidental ice cream. Imagine it's freezing outside. You're a kid. You leave a cup of flavored soda water outside overnight with a stirring stick in it because you got distracted by literally anything. The next morning, instead of a drink, you've invented happiness on a stick. That's basically how ice cream, specifically popsicles, were born. Frank Epperson was just 11 years old when he accidentally left his drink out in the cold. Nature did the rest. When he pulled it out, frozen solid with the stick still inside, humanity unknowingly took a massive step forward. Your brain doesn't think about how weird frozen desserts actually are. We took cold, which is normally associated with pain and sadness, and said, what if this was fun? Ice cream shouldn't work. Cold numbs your mouth, sugar spikes your brain, dairy confuses your stomach, and yet your nervous system goes, yes, more. Psychologically, ice cream hits multiple reward pathways at once. Sweetness, fat, temperature contrast, texture, it's a sensory party. That's why you can be full and still find room for it. Your stomach says no, your brain says, this is emotional support food. The invention itself didn't even become a thing until years later, when Epperson realized he could sell it, which means the world missed out on frozen joy for a while because nobody thought, hey, this accident is amazing. Somewhere out there, history is full of accidental inventions we never got because someone cleaned up too quickly. Number 3, X-ray surprise. You know how your body is supposed to be private? Skin on the outside, secrets on the inside? Yeah, X-rays ruined that forever. And they did it completely by accident. Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode rays when he noticed something glowing across the room, a screen, reacting from invisible energy, which is usually the moment you run. Instead, he kept experimenting and realized these rays could pass through soft tissue but not dense objects like bone. So naturally, the first thing he did was X-ray his wife's hand. Romantic. The image showed her bones and her wedding ring. She reportedly said it looked like death, which is fair. Your brain finds X-rays unsettling because they break a fundamental rule: you're not supposed to see inside yourself. It triggers the same discomfort as hearing your own voice recorded or seeing a candid photo taken without warning. It's you, but wrong. But medically, absolute game changer. Doctors no longer had to guess what was broken. No more, does this hurt? X-rays let us look without cutting, which was revolutionary at a time when surgery was basically advanced guessing. All because someone noticed a spooky glow and followed the vibes. Your skeleton has been exposed ever since. Number 2, Super Soaker accident. You probably associate water guns with summer, chaos, and that one kid who took it way too seriously. But the Super Soaker started as something completely different and much more adult. An engineer named Lonnie Johnson was trying to build a new kind of heat pump. Instead, he accidentally created a powerful stream of water that shot across the room. Most people would say, well, that didn't work. But he said, what if this was fun? That decision changed childhood forever. The Super Soaker wasn't a gentle toy. It was pressure. It was strategy. It was wet fear. It introduced physics into playtime. Suddenly, water had range, authority, consequences. Your brain loves toys that feel powerful but safe. Super Soakers let kids simulate dominance without actual harm. It's pretend warfare with shorts and sandals. It scratches the same itch as competition, but with laughter instead of trauma. And again, the pattern repeats. A serious invention fails. Someone notices the failure is actually incredible. Boom. Cultural icon. Every summer battle owes its existence to an engineering mistake and a playful mindset. Basically, the greatest water fight of your life exists because science tripped. Number 1, the accidental pacemaker. Your heart is very dramatic. It loves rhythm. It hates being ignored. And when it decides to stop cooperating, it does not negotiate. The pacemaker, one of the most life-saving inventions ever, exists because someone accidentally shocked a heart and thought, wait, that worked? Wilson Greatbatch was building a device meant to record heart sounds. He grabbed the wrong resistor, a tiny mistake, the kind engineers usually discover 5 minutes later and sigh about, but instead of recording anything, the device started emitting electrical pulses, not random ones, rhythmic ones. Those pulses mimicked the natural timing of a heartbeat. Here's the wild part. When tested, the heart responded. It synced up, like it had been waiting for instructions. Your heart, it turns out, is extremely willing to take notes. The psychology here is quietly terrifying. You like to believe your body is fully automatic, a self-running machine, but the pacemaker proves that your most vital organ can be politely bossed around by a battery and some wires, and it's fine with that, grateful even. Before pacemakers, heart rhythm problems were a ticking clock. Doctors could diagnose but not intervene in a lasting way. After pacemakers, hearts got backup plans, fail-safes, a tiny robotic metronome whispering, hey, beat, now. Again. Millions of people are alive because someone made a small mistake and paid attention instead of panicking. That's the recurring theme here. Curiosity beats perfection. Accidents become breakthroughs. Progress trips over itself and somehow lands upright. So yeah, your continued existence might depend on the same kind of error you make when you click the wrong button and pretend you meant to do that. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.